In the world of NSA spying, we also got a big revelation today. This is big news. The Guardian, Glenn Greenwald writes for The Guardian, and Glenn Greenwald published in The Guardian today a whole brand new set of presentations done for the NSA, I believe by a private contractor, talking about how, they've been saying, okay, we're gathering all your phone metadata. And so we know, if you called an abortion clinic, we know if you called your local subversive, we know if you called, the strip bar, we know if you call, whatever. And, now we're discovering that police departments are gathering license plate metadata, same deal. Well, this is about a new program called XKeyscore. And basically what it is the NSA is also tracking your emails, your searches, and the websites that you're visiting. And not just you, but everyone. And without warrants. And they're gathering these mind-boggling amounts of data together in this huge database, XKeyscore, which they had earlier told Congress they were not doing. Now, here's where it gets really weird. Congressman Alan Grayson, congressman with guts.com, remember him? Congressman Alan Grayson, the guy who, the congressman from Florida who stood up on the floor of the House and said, here's the Republican health care plan. 1, don't get sick. 2, if you do get sick, die quick. That guy, Alan Grayson. He was holding hearings. He was going to hold hearings today at the House of Representatives, a couple blocks from here, and in the one of the office rooms, in one of the hearing rooms in the U.S. Capitol, about what the NSA is up to. And Glenn Greenwald was going to testify at those hearings, presumably flying in from South America where he lives, was going to testify at those hearings, presumably about this brand new, it's not a brand new program, but we just now today learned about it, the XKeyscore program, where the NSA is snooping on all of our web activity. So they got our phone calls, they got our web activity now. In a very systematic way. And in the article over at The Guardian details, it's got all these graphics, the PowerPoint presentation of exactly how they do it and how they just plug your IP address or your email address into this giant database, and boom, out comes everything you've ever done, basically. Or a variation thereof. And Glenn Greenwald was going to testify about this before Congress today. And here's where it gets even weirder. President Obama? He really doesn't like going to the Capitol building. He's been there, twice in 5 years? Other than for ceremonial functions. He just, the whole idea of going to the Capitol building to meet with members of Congress, it's just something he doesn't do. He invites them to come to the White House. And he doesn't even do that all that often, which is one of the things that people on both the left and the right have, I don't want to say criticized, critiqued him for. It's a difference in style. All right, Lyndon Johnson knew all those people. He'd been in Congress for half his life. He'd hang out with them. Bill Clinton was very gregarious. He likes hanging around with people. I think personally that President Obama is I think he's an introvert, frankly, who's learned how to pretend that he's an extrovert. And he would just as soon not deal with all this human drama. A little bit of Mr. Spock in there. And just deal with the details and the facts. But today, something happened. Without warning, without setting it up, without making appointments, nothing. The president decided that he's going to go over to Congress and meet with the Democrats. Hey, Democrats, would you get together with me? Now, when the leader of your party and the president of the United States says, would you please meet with me in your house, you pretty much have no choice but to say, sure. Which means that, Glenn Greenwald, he may be in the waiting area of Dulles Airport. I don't know if he's gone through through customs yet or not, but Glenn Greenwald will not be testifying today. Alan Grayson had to postpone the hearing to September, which is like at least 5 weeks from now. Maybe / probably longer. When, of course, this news will no longer be news. There won't be cameras. There won't be any interest. Nobody is going to cover it. It'll be a dead event. And so, as my old friend Lamar Waldron used to say, coincidence or conspiracy? I think we can figure out what's going on here. This is not rocket science. I mean, and this is where I find it so fascinating that the president and the kind of John McCain normal Republican faction, if anybody could call John McCain normal, but oddly enough, John McCain, the John McCain, Lindsey Graham, hard right, crazy moderates in the Senate compared to Ted Cruz and Rand Paul. The president, the so-called moderate Republicans, and the so-called moderate Democrats, the kind of Chuck Schumer category, the mainstream Dianne Feinstein group of Democrats, are all saying, this NSA stuff, there's no droids in this car. Whereas the liberals, the genuine progressives in the House, and the genuine hardcore right-wingers, the Tea Partiers in the House, just voted so close that if only 7 members of Congress had changed their votes, they would have defunded the NSA's phone tapping program. Now they've got another one to look at.
You're listening to the Thom Hartmann Program. Call 866-987-THOM.
But my guess is that the White House and the establishment have learned from the experience of the phone tap program, and this one is not going to get anywhere near the publicity it responds.